Hey, how's it going? Um, so
Probably
I
should have
kind
put
of
on a
had
machine
this
gun
conversation
stand
on
for the
my
sake of
stream a little earlier,
obviously,
um, and I figured I'd make it into a video. If you would like to, come hang out with us whenever, I'm live and stuff, then come check me out.
forgot how this gun's like
But
a
with that being
railgun.
said, let's just hop on onto it. So to start it off, I had this idea about lost sectors. And to
Why
be
am I
honest,
running at
like lost
48
sectors
frames?
aren't
Why
bad
am I
for what they
dipping in
are. I
frames?
just feel that as if like they could be a little bit better in certain ways. Like I love the whole idea of, every single day it resets. So it changes
Why
into a
am I at
different lost
50?
sector. What I don't like is the fact that it's now one lost sector. I like that you can change whatever difficulty you want. You can pick it from legend or master. That's cool. I do like that. I don't like how it's one lost sector and I have to sit
Yeah, I regret
here
putting this
and
gun on.
without
This gun
using a
fucking
third-party
sucks.
app like Light.gg or anything like that. There's multiple of them. Today in Destiny,
It,
etc. You,
dude, it's
if
so
you play the
weird that it
game, you
has
know what
like
I'm
a
talking
charge
about.
up and then doesn't.
Um,
Like, what the fuck is that?
but what I don't like is if I'm not using a third-party app, is trying to figure out where it is. I feel that as if they added like some sort of directory that let me choose it, that'd be pretty cool. And a lot of people have been talking about that, is that like it'd be nice to have a little directory or something like
Sick.
just next to the tower or whatever. I don't care where you put it, just put it somewhere. Maybe put it in the legends thing or whatever it's called, where Vogue is and all that, and Prophecy Dungeon. But no, what I want done with Lost Sectors is it would be pretty cool. Now, I have no problem, if it's one Lost Sector they want to randomly pick, or if we can pick the Lost Sector, that'd be cool too. But honestly, I'd rather be just one random Lost Sector each day, where it randomly changes, or weekly. I don't really care. Pick your poison. Um,
Sick.
let's just say, for example, it's Moon today, right? And as per usual. But the twist is I can pick what exotic I want to be able to farm. So I could pick arms, I could pick boots, I could pick helmet, I could pick chest, whatever I want. I still, am going to have to do that said lost sector with whatever modifiers it comes with, but I still get to pick the reward that I want to do. Because to be honest, I'm not like, don't get me wrong, it's not that hard, like, hey, like, wait
Alright,
one
well, I'm about
day,
to break this fucking
it's
game.
arms today. I'm not looking for arms, I'm looking for helmet. Okay, but to be honest, like waiting and getting on to the day, and that's the plan that I have for today, is to sit here and farm out. Like I want to farm a helmet for my build, and it's not helmet today. It's like, well, I have nothing else to do. I could go do Nightfalls, but that's not very fun, because then it's any exotic in there. I'd rather have more focused, farming, more efficient farming, and it'd just be easier. So I feel like that if they made that sort of change, it'd be kind of nice. But I don't really see them doing it. I'm just throwing an idea out there. All right, moving on to sunsetting. I think sunsetting is the stupidest fucking thing in the planet. But I know that they sunsetted back a couple seasons ago. Everybody hated it. Everybody told them it was going to be a bad idea. We're not going over that one. Well, sort of. Um, the whole factor of getting rid of planets, getting rid of all this stuff, like the Destiny Content Vault, I should say, the DCV. Honestly, to
Oh,
me,
that was fun.
I think I understand why they're doing it, but I still think it's really stupid. I understand it, and I understand the reasoning behind it because it helps them, make more content and etc. And all this nonsense they've been saying, which is all fine and dandy. But to be honest, you haven't really given us, you know, the content size. Like, don't get me wrong, like this season, Witch Queen story was great. I loved it. But
I might
that was
honestly
it.
switch to Shadow
Like,
Die because
what
for the
else was
sake
there?
of
Because to me,
just
I didn't
playing
enjoy
crystals
pretty
all
much
day.
anything else. Some of the missions were cool, some of the activities were fun. For the, like, one time or two times that I played them, and then I was just like, meh. There was no reward. There was no nothing out of it. Like, what was the point? Gonna go farm
Great.
for
Hello.
glaives that I don't give a shit about? Okay,
There we go.
not gonna do that. Um, but I generally think the idea behind sunsetting was a really dumb idea. Sunsetting maps, sunsetting weapons. Especially like, for instance, if we're gonna talk about like sunsetting in the GM department, like why get rid of Palindrome if you're just gonna bring it back? Why get rid of anything if you're just gonna bring it back? Why get rid of all these weapons that you sunsetted if you're just gonna bring them back, reused and reprised, like, you know, like renewed? To me, it's kind of stupid, and I don't. It feels like a kick in the dick, to be honest, because it feels like I'm sitting here wasting my fucking time. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Destiny, but it generally feels like I'm getting like my time wasted, and it feels like I'm just getting kicked in the nuts. Like, hey, you just spent 7 plus, you know, like whatever amount of hours you spend on the game every single day. Even the casuals are getting kicked in the dick over here. It's like, hey, I just got this really cool gun. It's like, oh, you like that gun? Hey, that's crazy. We're taking it away from you. And obviously they said they're never going to release sunset weapons again. We're not going to have that big sunsetting. So I shouldn't have really called this, you know, department sunsetting, but more so like removing weapons or whatever. But, and I'm kind of going on a bit of a rant here, but it's just kind of how I feel. Like, it just doesn't feel like I'm being rewarded anymore in the game. Like, it doesn't feel like there's any new gun that's coming out that just feels new, I should say. Like, it doesn't feel like there's any content that's been coming out of this game that just feels new. So. Alright. On to PvP. So, I don't know where to really start with this system. Don't get me wrong, it's come a long way since the beginning of PvP. Like, a long way. For those that aren't aware, for those that are aware, for the veterans, all I can say is Mida and Graviton Lance, Trials of the Nine. I'm sorry for any of those that I activated PTSD. No, but honestly, it's come a long way. With balance changes, map changes, game mode changes, etc. But it's still a pile of mess. It's a lot better, but it's still not quote-unquote fun as the developers would like to say that it's supposed to be, or that's the goal they're striving for. None of this competitiveness, none of the toxicityness. But I'm gonna keep it real. You can't have a game that has PvP and not expect to have some sort of competitiveness community around it. You just can't. I personally, I love like winning, you know, everybody wants to quote unquote win a game. There are some that don't care if they win or lose, but there are some that, you know, generally strive to win. And it feels good to win. It's kind of the whole point of the game is to win over the enemy team. And yes, it makes you a little angry and upset. That's kind of the whole point. It's a game, it's competitive, like it's PvP. Player versus player. You want to win against a player. And then I don't know. It just I feel like the game's not in that fun factor as they say, you know, and they don't want the whole competitiveness. But then you have game modes like Trials or competitive PvP or quote unquote survival, which they're planning on changing in the future, which I'll get into that in a little while. I just don't know what to really expect from it anymore. I just don't feel like it's going anywhere where it needs to go. So I just haven't touched it. So to be honest, I really haven't even touched anything of Witch Queen like version of it, to be honest. So I have no really input of this season's changes. I've heard a lot of bad things about like the Lori and Invis hunters and stuff. I mean, that's all just not like, you know, people just bitching to bitch, but to be honest, I don't really know, so I can't really say or put an opinion on that. But from the seasons that I have played, it's come a long way. It really has. And I'm really proud of the developers for what they've done, but I still don't think it's where it should be. They really need to figure out what they're doing, if they're really going down the fun factor part and just making a really stupid and wacky PvP, or if they're going to actually put in some balances and actually figure out what the fuck they're doing with this game, with their PvP aspect. So, but until then, I'm just not touching it. So, that's all I've got to say about it. Other than the fact that, give me survival. Just give it back. I enjoyed doing it. I know they're changing, like, the title, but give me back my survival. It's the only game mode that I ever loved. And Train's Trials. Trials shouldn't be a capture the flag mode, like the capture point mode. It should be a fucking, bring it back to the Trials of the 9 days, where it was like bomb plants. Way better. I'm sorry. If you don't approve of that, go fuck yourself. A joke. No, but honestly though, like I feel like Trials should be more of a like search and destroy game mode than a hey, sit in a corner and wait to see who makes the first move. Um, all right. So onto the season changes. Because I know next season's like right around the corner from when I'm posting this video. I don't know what I'm really hoping for. I really don't. I really don't know what I'm looking forward to. I heard that there's a new dungeon, which I'm really looking forward to. I heard that we're supposed to get, I don't know if we're supposed to get the new subclasses this season or not. Or if it's just being teased. That's a lot of leaks going on, stuff like that. Just like rumors and shit like that. I'm not really sure if any of it's really true. I know the dungeon's kind of true. I think it was in a TWAB, I believe. I think. Or at least it's been mentioned. Unless they confirm that in an older TWAB. Again, I haven't really kept up to it, so I don't really know. But I'm looking forward to the dungeon. I'm just hoping that they're like everything that I've gone over with PvP, sunsetting lost sectors, which I also something I didn't mention, which I should have, is Grandmasters. Grandmasters and activities like strikes and stuff, they just don't feel new. They don't feel new anymore, and they're just boring. Like I don't like this. Dude, the seals and everything is just not enjoyable. So I think I'll put GMs in its own like category over there. But I think for the next season, honestly, like the only thing that's gonna really keep me playing, and as much as Witch Queen has kept me playing, is story. Some new weapons. If you know a new weapon drops, I'll go grind it, get it. Once I get the god roll, it's like, all right, see you later. I'm gone. Bye bye. And other than that, the only other thing that's really keeping me going on the game is helping people out. So I do Grandmaster carries. I used to do survival stuff, stuff like that. But mainly I just do PvE help now because PvP is a mess. So I don't know. That's kind of all that's been really keeping me into the game. So, but I really do look forward to it. I appreciate everybody that sat here and listened to me rant, but take it easy.